Good afternoon. It's Thursday, and as you know, I was on yesterday and announced that I am running for president in 2020, and we were talking about some different things have come up. One thing that they're making a lot of things about the FBI on well, supposedly the FBI broke into Trump's lawyer's office and his home where he stays, hotel, and it seems like the whole thing that this is about, which is really unusual, is to get information about the payments used on these different women. They say to silence women. Supposedly that's what this is about, and it is strange. I haven't seen it before where they have the FBI breaking in and trying to get this information, because supposedly you know, they break in places and they call it a raid, but there's certain things that you should know about raids. And the first thing is, what's it mean the FBI got a search warrant? Okay, they got a search warrant. They had to go to a judge, and I think the one that signed this was this guy that Trump has talked about firing. He's talked about firing two people, Mueller and then the other guy that's the judge. But I think that this judge had to sign this. I'm trying to think of his name. I can't think of it right now. So they sign that, and then that gives them, the FBI has a warrant to go in. And then the next problem is, all right, so they go into a place, and what information in there is under this lawyer-client privilege? Lawyer-client privilege, because they just can't take everything and put it in a truck and take it downtown and start going through it and say, okay, here's a crime, here's a crime. Now we're going to charge you with all these different crimes. In fact, when you have lawyers' files like you do here, his attorney, another way is they would have an outside party go through the files.
I can't.
They would have an outside party go through the files to see what files can be looked at in this case. I mean, you just can't pick up every sheet of paper and say this, that. So these outside parties more or less go through it, and they would sign off on the search warrant and say, these are the files we're looking for, these are the files we can look at, and since it's attorney-client, we can't look at these other things. It has nothing to do with our case. So you have the attorney-client privilege, and the question is, what files in the attorney's office is privileged? The question before that is, what is the lawyer-client privilege? And this makes it tougher than any case for hitting a general lawyer, because this time the lawyer and the client are in a attorney-client relationship, but the client just happens to be the President of the United States. So this makes it a little different, but you're still down to the same facts. What files can you take to that'll satisfy the warrant that you're looking for? Supposedly in this case, they're looking for things, evidence of this money that changed, the money that changed hands on the two cases with the two girls involved. These are the two girls, Clifford and Karen McDougal. Now, Trump acts like he doesn't really know either one of them, and he never gave him any money. Now, the first girl his lawyer gave $130,000 to, he don't know where he got that money. He has no idea. And supposedly the lawyer mortgaged his house to get that $130,000.
I'm sure.
And I think this Stephanie Clifford, then she wanted to give the money back. You know, I don't know how this is going to come out, but I was thinking about it. But if there was no criminal, and Trump makes, and the lawyer makes a new settlement with this Stephanie Clifford, I don't know what it's going to be. I don't want to know, frankly, because that $130,000 that she gave back, I think we're looking at some different numbers. Now, they can't make a settlement while these possible criminal relations are going, but once the criminal's over, as far as I can see, they can make another settlement with Clifford, and that would be supposedly for the one night that she stayed with him in 2007. But frankly, I don't want to know the number, because it's going to be way up. 130 probably won't even buy you lunch the day they make that settlement, because there's going to be a lot of money flowing. Now, the other girl, it's a little Karen McDougal, it's a little different situation. Supposedly this guy has this magazine and all that, Trump's real good friend, he paid her the $150, and then he was going to use a story on her in his magazine, and he never used the story. So that's a lot different. I think the main one is this Stephanie Clifford. And then the question is, now why the bank started all this. I think the bank that Cohen was using, they're the ones that tipped off the FBI. They called the federal government. They said there was something going on they didn't like. Now, what it was, we don't know yet. We don't know why the bank tipped them off, but this started the whole case with that bank calling the feds, whoever they report to, and they said there's something here we don't like. And the question is, I don't know what that is, you don't know what it is, but I think that's going to come out once they start doing some checking, because supposedly the woman got the $130,000. He said he mortgaged the house, but you know, I'm wondering, what would the bank really, why would the bank really call them about that? But I'm interested to find out. So the other thing is, naturally, this is about these couple girls here, but I don't know what other papers were in his office. And then, like I said, they have a separate man, or men they pick out to go through them, because a lot of them have nothing to do with this case. And we're looking at the things involved in this client-attorney relationship, and then some of those things could have a privilege that attorney-client, you can't look at them. So this is a very complicated item at this point, and that's one reason I think the attorney, head attorney, and the other lawyer for that's prosecuting, and that's another thing, Mueller backed off from this case. I don't know why Mueller backed off from this case, because Mueller was hired for one reason: to check Russia in the 2016 election. But this lawyer Cohen, boom, he had a big deal going over there in 16. He was trying to get Trump set up in a hotel with a guy. I think the guy's name was Batir, and that was all Russia. So why didn't Mueller take this case? No, he didn't take it, and they got another group from New York in the attorney's prosecuting office. But I wonder why he didn't take this case. And the other thing, the guy that's heading it, Blostein, well, he's the one that signed the warrant, the search warrant, And I think it's going to turn into a big, huge fight like you can't believe. Really a big fight. But I'll keep you posted. Let's see what happens tomorrow. Thank you.